Okay, what we'll be talking about today is getting into Commander ERP and getting our Commander ERP set up to start doing bids, estimations, tracking job costs, and all the great things that Commander does for us uh, as far as tracking down equipment, knowing where it's at, knowing where our use is, what we need to strengthen our company and make our bottom line number stronger. So we're at the first stage. We're going to go. We've got our login password from the Commander ERP employees. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into Commander, log in. Once we log in, we're going to see on the left-hand side the columns. We're going to go down to configuration. It's going to look like this. We're going to extend the configuration out. And then we're going to go into account information. The account information is very important for us to make sure that this is correct. This should have been put in there by the Commander ERP employees, but we want to check it for the integrity of it. This is going to show up later on in our proposals. So this is how our clients are going to get back to us. So we want to make sure that everything is correct. Our website, address, zip code, phone numbers are listed. As you can see in here, there's not a phone number. We for sure want to have a contact information. So we will get that in there now and make sure they can contact us. Okay, once we've got this all filled in, got the email. Okay, this is very important here. This is our payroll configuration. We want to select the day of the month that our pay period ends on. This is set at Sunday. If you need to change this, you need to get back with Commander ERP and they will automatically change that for you. Okay, now the next thing is selecting our hours. At what point do we hit overtime? Okay, we got to get that hammered down to 40 hours. Okay, as you see, this moved with us. Okay, this particular company, paving A to Z, they have to get to, let's say, 136 before they get, that's their overtime hours, and then anything above 134 goes into double time. Or you can move this, some people doesn't pay double time, some people's lower. It all depends on what you need. This is very important for your payroll company later on. So let's go ahead and update that. That is correctly done. Now we're set up. Now we're moving along. The next one is application users. Okay, this is myself, Orlando Ross, my email, and I'm the admin over this. So I'm going to go in here and create a new user, and we're going to enter Tim, last name Jones, and then we want to make sure that we get all of this filled out correctly. This is how Tim is going to log in. We're going to give Tim just a regular old A to Z password. Enter his cell phone so we can track him down. Perfect. For the sake of time, I'm going to skip down through. If they have additional phone numbers, emergency contacts is good here. Any other way. Okay, now we want to select his role. Tim is a administrator or a manager, and then he makes $22.50 an hour, and then his overtime rate is say $45 an hour. Then his double time rate is $90 an hour. Okay, we get that in there, get that updated. Perfect. Okay, so that is how you add new employees into Commander. Now from this point, Tim is good to start logging in, tracking his job costs, doing anything he needs to. This is his portal for entering his time, his jobs, looking at his daily logs, the whole 9 yards. So this is very important. Also, we got to make sure that this is correct. These numbers are round numbers. We need to make sure that we're sending them to the correct place. That you're getting these from your payroll company, or you're figuring them out exactly, because this is going to affect his paycheck. So we want to make sure that that's right. Now, one thing to note, if you change any of these numbers halfway through the payroll, it's going to retro that back. It goes payroll to payroll. So any raises should be given, that Saturday night to Sunday, if that's when they're done working. So it'll go on the next week's payroll. Okay, so we're going to hit update. That is it. That's how we add. As you can see, we have a lot of different types of roles in there. Make sure that you're selecting the right role. The roles all depend on what you got as far as access to the system. You don't want to give a laborer, a worker, full access to all your information. Pretty soon they'll know what they're being paid. Same, be very specific, be selective in what you're given there, and make sure it's the right one. Okay. All right, moving on. Type of work. As you can see, I've already entered some here into my ANZ paving. This is some things that we do: asphalt, chip seal, crack seal, dirt work, and seal coat. We're going to go ahead and add something new in here. For that. So basically what you do is you can enter anything you want in here. You just hit create. There, it's done. Okay, so pretty simple. Make sure the active button is always on. This should always be on. If you, for some reason, don't want to do asphalt leveling course, you can back that off and deactivate it. That's the activation. Deactivate won't show up anywhere. That's turned off. So for the sake of time, we're going to turn that back on. Go ahead and update that and go from there. Okay, client type. What type of clients do you got? What, some people deal strictly with HOAs. Go in there, you create HOA. You want to add another one? Let's add a homeowner as well. Hit the add button. Go back and type in homeowner. Perfect. Hit create. This here is just for your internal workings, whatever you might want to use it for, some sort of a description. If you want to expound on that maybe something that's not quite self-explanatory, then we need to do that. So great there. Okay, easy enough. Next one is client type. We've got that. Property type. It's essentially the same thing, but just another place you can drill this down a little tighter. Like a county road. 563. There you are. Already in there. Create it. Okay. That's the property type. Okay, proposals. Proposals is something that you're going to learn to love. You're going to be able to save a grundle of time in creating these proposal items once. So asphalt overlay, you put it in there. You put it under the category section. Where does it fit best? Obviously in asphalt, we put it there. Now the proposal context is information that is going to show up on your proposals. You'll never have to rewrite these again. All you do is download these. When we get to the proposals, we'll show you that later on. And this content will stay there for every proposal will be the same content. You can edit it and modify it in the proposals, but the meat of it is going to save you a grundle of time in recreating it every time. So spend some time on this, put some information in here, whatever you want in there, and then create it. That's going to save it. Now, here we want to tell the proposal price or the square yards. Usually what we do is we put the square yards right here. We attach that. And then here we give it a little space and put square yards. Cap locks on there. Yards right there, and it just gives us a little explanation of what that number is. Okay, great. It's active. We are now ready to use this in our proposals. A very good thing. Okay, that's the proposed items. Very important to spend some extra time on that, even if it takes you a little longer now. It's going to save you a grumble of time in the long run when you're not retyping that lengthy description of your process. That's usually what it is. Like, we're going to install 6 inches of base, 4 inches of asphalt. We're going to use this mix for this. Sometimes we put in there about removing cars, making sure the area is clean, just whatever goes with it. Excess weeds in the cracks, or if it needs routering or something to that extent. So that's it. Okay, the next section and the last section for the configuration is the general bids item. Mainly what we use these for is DOT projects, something that you can study. You can have a laundry list of codes in there that you don't want to keep track of, but you need to know what the pricing is on these at some point. Usually your DOTs, they will send out bid tabulations. It's good to study those, learn what the pricing is, or just go ahead and go in there and figure that out on your own, what you think it's going to cost to do that. And then just have a set fixed cost is usually what we do. We know what the material is going to cost us, and then we know how many labor hours it's going to put in there. So what we do here is we put in, let's do, think here, what would be a good one to put in there? Let's just do an asphalt overlay. Probably not the best one. We selected a code, make one. Usually, we use different code systems, and you want to make sure that your cost code can be tracked through. So you want to use a unique code that you can track this asphalt overlay. Now, I would not recommend you doing, asphalt. Use the other asphalt calculator for that. But just for the simple fact of this one, that's what we're going to use for training purposes only. Okay. So how asphalt overlay is going to be done by the ton or whatever fits it. I mean, right there, you got a whole laundry list of information. Okay, description, you can just make a, 50, 58, 28 HMA, just so you know later on. Okay, and then you're going to enter a price. How much per ton is it going to take me to enter it? So let's say per ton it takes us $45. Materials is another $45, and trucking is $15 a ton. As you see, it adds that up as we go across. Simply hit create, and that's in there. So now, the more information you put in there, and you're checking these pricing and ensuring that they're at least updated on at least a quarterly basis, this is going to save your estimators a grundle of time in going in there. They can pull up the DOT bid checklist. They can run through there, select the numbers in the bids, and in a good 30 minutes have a complete DOT bid tabulation worth anywhere from 10 to 15 million whipped out in 30 minutes. And you know that it's accurate, you know that it's consistent, and you're taking away a lot of the guessing from your employees that may not be as knowledgeable as you. Listen, this is all we got for today. So make sure that you're logging into Commander ERP, you're selecting, getting signed up for the trial basis with Commander ERP, and that you're using it to grow your company and job costing out exactly what it's taking you to do those jobs. I know it's going to increase your bottom line and take care of your company. So for all your information, look us up, commandererp.com.